Hello, everyone. How's it going? Back once again, another week. Some more Gloomhaven digital. Hey, Joe, how's it going? We're continuing our playthrough of adventure mode with four players or four characters. We've got everybody on level one, but we're a pretty good amount of the way just for having played one scenario. We're a pretty good amount of the way uh, toward level two. I think eventually you can in adventure mode you kind of move around the map a little bit, um, but eventually I'm moving toward fighting the bandit commander, and you can kind of pick and choose when you want to do that, when you think you're ready. I think since there are I'm pretty sure technically three bosses in this adventure mode, I think I'm going to maybe try this guy around level 3, which means I'll definitely need to be doing some more adventuring before I get to that point. I've got three choices on the path. Several There's one that they're all easy mode still because you can see the green path. One of them has three scenarios, which is kind of crazy. um, so yeah, you would basically run three dungeon scenarios in a row before you get to your destination, and obviously that means more XP, more gold, and possibly a better reward, although they seem pretty even. The only problem is I'm pretty sure the Orb of Twilight, the giant remote spider, might be items that I would put in my bag, and or my small items. And I already have one small item for each character. What I don't have are weapons for every character. So I'm thinking the Inferno Blade might be the best option for me, simply because I'm needing some weapons and I'm not really needing any kind of another small item. I'm good on those. The Orb of Twilight might not be a small item. It might be. I wish the one thing that I wish is that you could see a little bit of details about the item. I know they're trying to keep it a little bit of a mystery, but it would be nice to know at least what kind of item it is. Is it a small item? Is it a weapon? That helped me make a choice. But I think because this seems the most like what I'm missing, I'm going to go with this path. And it looks like we're going to start with the oozing depths, and it kind of gives you a preview in the window, navigation window on the right, what kind of things you're going to be facing. Looks like I got more cultists, more living corpses, and that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and start on that. Ooh, okay, so I did have a random encounter that happened up. And what happens when that comes out is that you have um, the ability to have a kind of a little bit of a story, and then you have kind of a choose your own adventure. Sometimes it is pretty obvious what you should probably take, and then sometimes it's not quite as obvious, which means you have to be really careful. Sometimes it seems innocuous, and then you end up taking some damage, or sometimes it's a positive thing. So these will just happen randomly once in a while. They're kind of like road events in the physical game. The path leads you to a ravine with a rickety old rope bridge as the only way across as far as you can see. The ropes look very worn, and the wooden planks are rather rotten, but looking for another way across looks like it could take quite some time. So I could either cross the rope bridge or try to find another way across. Um, I'm going to go ahead and cross the rope bridge because I have a feeling that if I try to find another way across, something might happen to me. Like I might lose some of my cards, or some of my cards might start discarded, and I'll be a little bit closer to exhaustion. So I'm going to try to rush. The rope bridge creaks and sways precariously under your weight with each step, but nonetheless holds you and you make it to the other side without issue. You breathe a sigh of relief and continue with your journey. I'm kind of wondering if maybe sometimes if you make the choice, something different will happen, which would be very much different than the normal road event cards, but something that you could probably pull off in a digital version. So nothing happened. No significant events. One thing I am going to do before I jump in, and you can do this anytime before you start your adventure, is you can sub in any of the cards that you want. And if you remember, I talked about last time how you always start with your number of cards that you have. Each class has a different maximum amount. And then once you besides those cards, you always have starting level 1 cards equal to that max amount. Then you have some X cards, and these are available at the beginning of the whole game, and you can sub them in anytime you want. So for example, I could sub in Skewer, which is a nice kind of crowd control attack. Although the brute does have a few of these cards. This one's nice if you can line up two guys in a row. You can hit them both with an attack 3. The bottom has a move 6, but of course it's a burn card. But the nice thing is that attack 3 on the top is not a loss, so that's kind of nice. Balance measure is pretty cool. You can either move based on the amount of damage that you did this turn, or you can attack based on the number of hexes you move this turn. And he does have a pretty good amount of movement. This guy does, which is kind of nice. So that could end up being a nice card to put in. And then the Wall of Doom, there's a loss ability on the top, which is Retaliate 2, Shield 2. And then on the bottom, all of your attacks are +1 this round. Um, that's a pretty nice bottom part of the card, but I'm not really sure that I want to loss. I'd get much out of the Retaliate 2 loss ability at the top. Maybe it might be kind of a good boss fight card for sure. But I am thinking I might want to sub in Skewer and Balance Measure. Now the trick is that you got to take out some cards, right? Which is always the hard thing to do. Um, there's just so many good cards, really. um, Warding Strength allows me to push. Push is always good. Grab and Go is a nice movement card. But I don't necessarily need to loot a whole lot. Is kind of the trick with that. So maybe I will sub out Grab and Go. It's as easy as clicking on cards. You basically click on what you want to take out, and then because Grab and Go has such a good movement, I think I'm going to sub that in for that. I'm trying to find something that is equivalent. And so now I need to do the same thing for Skewer. So possibly having an upper attack 3 damage card. While at the same time, okay, so if I take out Trample, it's an attack 3 Pierce 2. It's an automatic Pierce 2, which is kind of nice. But the Skewer could possibly be Pierce if I got some air going. But I can always do 6 points of damage if I can just line up two guys. That might be worth it. So we'll sub that in, and it's a lower initiative. That's something else to consider. It kind of takes out one of those higher initiative cards. So that's all we'll do with the brute for right now. The Scoundrel has 3 X cards where you can take out the Sweeping Blow. Sucks. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it does suck. I do like that move 3, but there's a lot of times where you can't line up all of those attacks. So maybe I should put Trample back in and take out Sweeping Blow. Because I already have something that can attack things that are lined up with me and leaving Cleave. And I mean, really, I hardly ever get more. I can always get 2 guys lined up uh, with Leaping Cleave. I can't usually get 3 guys lined up for Sweeping Blow. So maybe I will sub that in just so I have a lot of Pierce. Those guys with shield seem to be the ones that are really going to be hard to hit for my crew. The other thing that's kind of interesting is you can obviously switch out stuff all the time. Every time you go into a different dungeon, and based on the enemies that you fight, I tend to like to keep the same cards over and over once I set them. But the Scoundrel has Sinister Opportunity, attack 3, add +1 attack for each of your allies adjacent to the target. So this is one where I'd have to really coordinate a lot of allies nearby. Sinister Opportunity, move 3, force one adjacent enemy to perform move 1 with you controlling the action and ending in a hex adjacent to you. Okay, so basically I move him 1 space and he has to start adjacent and end adjacent to me. It's an interesting card. Man, I really like all of her cards, really. Trickster's Reveal is a loss condition at attack 2. Add plus attack X attack, where the X is double the shield value of the target. So you basically use their shield against them. The next time you suffer damage, this round suffer no damage instead, and that's not a loss. Swift Bow, so that could change her into kind of a ranged character. She already has her throwing knives, but this could give her one other ranged card. So instead of targeting 2, I could just target one person for a little bit more damage. Move 2 and loot every hex you enter in with this action. That's kind of cool. I do like having 2 targets. I don't know if I want to sub any cards in for her right now. That's a really tough one. I do like Sinister Opportunity because there's not really any. So let's take a look at the cards that let me attack based on who's next to me. Backstab is kind of cool, but the trick is that it's a loss condition, and I don't often have someone that's away from all of its allies and adjacent to one of my allies. It is a really low card, and I'm trading a really high card for it, but it is one of those cards that I... And then there's also Flanking Strike, which is also another low card. I like to keep Single Out because I like the bottom ability on it, even though it's a loss ability. I don't think I necessarily need a lot of healing. I think the Tinker is going to cover that for us. Oh, that was not a... So maybe I could sub that out. Yeah, I'm going to sub that out and put in... Sinister Opportunity. And I think that's all I'm going to sub out for now because I don't necessarily want to give her more range because the other 2 characters have range covered. So I know that's only 1 sub, but I'd really like her cards in general. And of course, here you have the same problem with the Mind Thief that I had in the actual game, which is that I can't even see. I can see the 12 cards. Oh no! I can see them. Okay, just for a second. Okay, so his X cards are a nice multiple target damage, which is kind of nice, and then a loss heal card on the bottom. Then you've got with Volatile Concoction, you've got damage traps. I'm not a huge damage trap fan. I don't use them a whole lot, but everybody has their own thing they love to do. Especially if you have a lot of push and pull, damage traps are great. Let's see, one, and then bottom one ally within range 2 may recover one of their discarded cards. Again, that's an ability that I have on some of my other cards with the Tinker, and I don't really use them a whole lot. Potent Potables lets me add extra heal to my healing. I'm not really needing that. I'm thinking that the Reviving Shock might be great, but I need to sub out one thing. So a multi-target attack, which is kind of useful. For what? I might get rid of Proximity Mine, honestly. I'm just not a huge fan, although it's got a 4 movement. I mean, Hook Gun does the same thing and pulls, but I do like the pull. Yeah, yep. It's possible I have too many heals right now, but I have a bunch of heals. So Energizing Tonic might be a good sub out because both of the abilities are losses, so I hardly ever use this card during the game. I really like to maximize the versatility of cards and not just have to use them for their basic actions until I can find, get to the end of the dungeon and finally use their loss abilities. I like to have at least one usable, constantly usable ability in the dungeon. Okay, so here's my problem. The main reason why I want to sub in some X cards is because the Mind Thief has too many of these augments in her deck originally. and I got to get them out because I'm never using more than I'm not going to use anything besides the mind's weakness. So there's another augment with the X cards where you can add muddle and poison to an attack, and I know that she and other characters have, well, especially her, she has abilities that allow her to do more damage if there's more debuffs on a creature. But man, I'm just that's not my. I love that you can have lots of different cool play styles, but that's just not something I really like to do. I'd rather do extra damage and get the fight over with. Although the poison and metal does help get the fight over with too. Possession lets me move an ally within range 3, and then also lets me do an attack 6, but it's a lost card. Hmm. So I need to get rid of all of my augments in my hand. Feedback loop. I do like the bottom of feedback, kind of. The mind's weakness I'm keeping, and then parasitic influence. None of those have bottom events or actions that I really like that much. So I basically have to put in possession and frigid apparition. Um, Even though I'm not a huge fan of possession, frigid apparition is great because it's an attack 3, and with ice I can stun. So and then the bottom has a stun loss ability. Okay, so we're finally done. Obviously, you can spend a lot of time thinking and looking at enemies that you're going to run into. I really like the idea that, unlike the physical card game or board game, this is always the thing: is how much do you get to look at the information about the scenario with the. See, yeah, Joe, I kind of wondered that too. If the Mind Thief is a female, but I think I've heard her referred to in some of the lore and things like that as a female. But I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look up some information. I need to look at the back of the Mind Thief card. I don't know. Maybe it's a male. But so anyway, we've got um, a lot of people can analyze, and everybody can do lots of different play styles depending on depending on the character that they're playing in, the group that they're playing in. But when you're looking at the scenario, the question becomes, how much do you get to know ahead of time? Well, in the physical game, you get to see the whole dungeon really because you got to put it together, and then you just can't fill a room up with creatures, and you're supposed to kind of half not pay attention to what the next room is going to look like. Although to me, it's like, well, you put it on the page, why can't I look at it? And at least in the digital version, they're making it obvious that you get to see all the monsters you're going to run into, and you'd have to set up those monsters anyway ahead of time. I don't know. So there is a big question about uh, whether or not you should have this information. But I like the fact that they make it pretty clear. Like, yeah, you can have the information because you got to put your deck together that you want for each of your characters. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by a cat who wants to be in the show. And so there is a lot of, there's a lot of question about whether or not you should have that information. But I like that you get to have that information. Yeah, it's he's being hilarious. All right, so we're ready to start on this. Hi. All righty. Always takes a little bit to load up. I'm not sure why. All right, so it looks like we're kind of in a mausoleum type thing again. We've got two living corpses, or no, a living corpse and a living corpse elite, and a cultist here to start off with. I always like to, once again, I like to start the first room with a little bit of a hmm, with a little bit of a kind of a disarm the whole room, kind of take away their attacks for sure. Like to start off with that. Let's see. So for the brute, that's obviously starting off with his disarming, overwhelming assault to move up close. I used to use grab and go, but now that I took out grab and go because it was like my highest initiative card, gave me good movement. The provoking roar allows me to move fast early in the initiative plus get a disarm in, and that usually beats most of the enemies. So, I might have taken out the ability to do any stunning or anything like that, or disarming with the scoundrel. I mean, the most she could do is some poisoning, which might be good. Yeah, we'll get some venom and shiv, and hopefully on the living corpse elite, and it's a pretty good attack on top of that. We just got to do something quick so that we can move quickly, which she has so many fast move options. All right, so obviously we've got the first opening move for the Tinker is the stun shot. It's a great, obviously, crowd control option when you start off with. And I always like, since it's pretty low, I like to pair it with something higher to get rid of the higher initiative cards right off the bat. So I'm going to do Ink Bomb so I can use the move 4. I usually like to try to use one fast high initiative card and one low initiative card. Low being meaning going for I'm going to go early. Okay, so with the Mind Thief, it's kind of interesting because she does have the ability to stun, but she's either got to get some elements on the board, or I'm getting attacked again, or she's got to move up close enough. She has an early perverse edge, but she has to actually use the top to get up close so that she can stun on the bottom of the other card. And so I'm going to use a combination of scurry and perverse edge. Now this goes against my rule because I like to have an early and a late card, just to get rid of those high initiative cards. But for right now, that's okay because I am going to get to. I'm using 2 low cards, but that's okay. You can't have it the way you want it all the time. So of course the scoundrel's going to go first. So I'm going to go ahead and move 5. I'm going to move up right up in between these guys. Maybe I should just move up to get out of the way. Yeah, I'll move up one more so I get out of the way here. And then I'll do the attack 3. Oh, I got to skip the rest of the movement. And then I'm going to do the attack 3. I could use the poison dagger, but she's already going to poison, so we'll save that. +1 modifier, so it did 4 damage. Pretty good start to getting that guy knocked down, and he's poisoned, which means he will take extra damage now. All right, so now we got the Mind Thief. I've got a Scurry, so I can stun. Oh, I got to see what the cultists are doing. I didn't even bother to look. They're going to move 1 and attack 1, but if I freeze these guys in place, then I don't have to worry about the cultist because he won't be able to move through this corridor. He'll be stuck behind his friends. So the question is, the brute can move. He's going to get to move 3, so he can move up. So, okay, so I'll do this. So with Scurry, I get to move 3 and then attack 1. So I'm going to go ahead and move right up next to this guy. And then I'm going to skip the movement, and then I'm going to do the attack. I'm not going to add extra damage for right now because she's not really set up for the extra attack. So there's no reason to boost it up any. Now I'm going to use the bottom half of Perverse Edge to infuse some ice and stun, and it's going to get an XP. So it should do up to 2 damage if there's no negative modifier. There's a positive +1 modifier. Now he's stunned and down to just 3 hit points. Oh, and the poison helped do extra damage as well. So I think it was a total of 3 damage plus 1 modifier plus the poison. All right. The brute, of course, needs to come up and get this other guy stunned. He doesn't have to move too far to do that, or disarmed, not stunned. Okay, so he'll skip the rest of his movement. He's not actually going to push. If there's a trap back here behind them, I could push, but there's no trap. So now I'm going to attack 2, disarm. So effectively, these guys' attack 3 has just been nullified, and they're almost dead anyway, which is kind of nice. So I end the brute's turn. The cultist can only move 1 space. Because he can't move through his friends, he decides to try to come around the side. Because he could have, if he had been able to move 1 more space, he could have attacked the scoundrel, but we nullified that. Now the last guy gets to go. Oh, I forgot I do have an extra stun. So I can't hit the cultist with it. So at this point, everybody's stunned or disarmed. So what I need to do is move up so I can get the stun on the cultist for his next round. It won't affect him this round, but he'll be stunned next round. And that'll be 1 less thing to worry about with him. In the Tinkerer's turn. And keep in mind, the cool thing is I'm zooming in so you can see everything up nice and close, but you can zoom it way out and have just like a top-down board gaming experience if you want. I like to zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. You'll notice that the 2 elites. Oh, this middle guy here. I thought he was disarmed. Oh, he is. We're starting a new round. Whew. Okay, so this guy is going to be stunned this round, but I need to try to drop these these living corpses quickly. So I'm going to go fast with the shield bash. This is my second move with the brute because he has to move up and attack melee. I know I got to get up close to these guys, so he's probably going to get hit. So the shield is a great thing because I'm not going to move. I'm going to keep hitting, but I'm protecting myself a little bit with that shield bash. Now I need to do something on the high end. Obviously, balance measure is not going to work because I'm not going to move. Trample's pretty nice because it's an attack 3. And it's a single target, but look at this. I can now use my skewer for the first time. And I'm going to get to do 2 hits. But probably the scoundrel's going to spoil that. Maybe I'll have the scoundrel go up and start on the living cultist. That would be kind of good. Okay. I can use Sinister Opportunity to do something cool. I can see an advantage. Because what that's going to let me do is move him away from one of his friends. It's just going to give me extra damage. That'll be kind of cool. So he'll get to go. She'll get to go early, but she'll get to use her new ability too that she just got, which will be pretty crazy. Okay. Nobody needs healing because nobody's gotten hit or even, yeah. I have a feeling the brute is going to be able to finish off the 2 corpses. So we're just going to do a big attack and yeah, we'll do net shooter to immobilize these guys just in case that attack doesn't happen. All right, finally, we're going to go ahead and set up what I like to do with the Mind Thief really early on because these augments are most beneficial if you get them out early. I'm going to go ahead and get the Mind's Weakness on, and that's going to also let me attack as well as get the augment set. And so at that point, then we've got the augment and an attack. Let's see what I can do. I could go invisible. There's not really any point to it going invisible. I'm getting with the cards that I have left, my options. I always start from the earliest one since I have a late card, and so now I want to make sure that I Let's see. So I've got a late card. I want to try to get as early a card as possible. I may just not be able to do anything on the bottom half of the card. Maybe I'll just do invisible just in case. Not really any intent of using that. All right. So the cultists are moving and attacking, basically what they did last time. And then the living corpses are not moving, but they are attacking a huge amount. So I've got to get rid of them. All right, so now we're going to get to see what the Scoundrel can do, one of her new combos. So I'm going to move 3, but I'm only going to move into this next space. I'm going to get the gold, which is one benefit. And then you'll notice to do a backstab, I've got to get the boost, I've either got to have an ally next to the enemy, which I'm not going to be able to do. But I also need to have the target adjacent to none of its allies. Right now, he's next to the living elite, so that's not going to get any kind of boost. So in order to get the boost, I'm going to have to do the finish sinister opportunity here at the bottom. So I'm going to skip my movement, and then I'm going to move this enemy one. I can move one, and I control the action, so I get to decide where he's going, and he's going to go over here. I guess I have to pick him. And then, sorry, I've got cats attacking cords. And then once he does, so I have to pick him, and then I got to pick, and then I got to confirm. Oh, I think I had to pick the movement. Well, shoot. Well, that stinks. First, I thought I had to select and then confirm, but I guess I had to select and then decide where I'm moving. But that's the learning experience. I didn't click. I was not supposed to click confirm until I actually moved him. So that's okay. I'll just skip the action. I wish I could undo that because you should be able to undo the whole thing since I'm not actually changing the game state yet. So I'll just do a basic attack of 3. Would have been 5, but oof. So -1 modifier, only did 2 damage. Did get the gold, which is nice. Okay, so the Mind Thief is going to go ahead and get the augment going. Oh man, I really don't want to attack this guy because I want the brute to be able to get his attack off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to... How do I skip the action? Okay, so if I do this and I skip the attack, yeah. So I think I still have the Mind's Weakness activated, which is what I really wanted. And then now I'll just move him up. Hopefully the brute doesn't miss because these guys are going to hit hard. But this is the gamble for getting it off, getting this attack off. So I'm going to do this attack against both these guys. I'm doing the skewer now. You'll notice it's highlighting both of them. Confirming. All right. Extra damage. Boom. And because these guys are both dead, I don't really have to worry too much about shielding. So I just went ahead and moved up on this money so I could get the money. All right. So now that at this point, the cultist needs to get hit. You notice the cultist didn't go this round. It was because he was still stunned. I'm just going to do the basic move so I can get this gold pile. And then now we got a new round. You notice I have not gotten attacked yet this entire time. Of course, this is the easy dungeon mode. Okay. So at this point, I want to try to do... I'm only going to be able to move like one space. Let's see, what are my big moves? Yeah, he can move 3. That's pretty good. So maybe I'll try that. I'll do a move 3 with leaping cleave, and then I'll do balanced measure where I can attack for 3. Won't get to go very fast, so probably he'll be dead by then, but that's okay. Well, Thief's Knack will allow me to attack on the bottom, and I'll use Quick Hands to move on the top in case I need to move. Once again, I don't really need to heal anybody. I could let someone recover cards, but that's a loss of ability. All right, well, we'll just go high in the initiative order. The Mind Thief doesn't have a big movement, but I can have an ally move. Sure, why not? So the Mind Thief does have a summon creature that attacks pretty well, doesn't move very fast. That's the problem. So you'd never really want to bring out summons really early in the game because they spend the whole scenario pretty much just catching up because you move through the rooms a lot faster than they do. Um, so I definitely don't want to get it out yet. Hmm. All right. Well, we'll just play a card just to get past the turn. I don't think there's going to be a lot going on this round. Cultist lead is moving to and attacking to, and right after the scoundrel. So we want to continue the tradition of not allowing any attacks to happen. So we're going to go ahead and attack. And that's enough. Quick hands will allow her to move onto the money. She'll skip the movement, or she'll skip the rest of her movement and the attack. And then her turn will end. She'll pick up the money. And that's the end of this room, thankfully. Okay, so let's see. So I'll go ahead and have the Mind Thief just to keep things interesting. Move 4, open the next room. We'll have her move back 1. And then we'll just do a basic attack to skip this action. All right, so the cultist was just moving a little bit. The living corpses do an attack 5 and then suffer a damage. Thankfully, no one was near them. Okay, so then I'll move the old brute up. But unfortunately, he won't be able to do his attack. I'd love for him to be able to do his attack. It's too bad he doesn't have any boots yet, because he could have done a huge attack. That's okay. So we'll just kind of skip the attack. Okay, Tinkerer. I could bring out a decoy. He basically summons something that can take hits for everybody. But again, the summons just take so long to catch up, it really wouldn't do any good to bring it out now. Okay, so at this point, what are we going to do here? I don't really mind taking a lot of damage. Let's see how much dungeon we have left. Looks like we've got 2 more rooms, a V-shaped room and then a small box room. You can do a big attack and push. Not really. I could do the spare dagger and attack from range. And then there's not really much to do. Well, we could do warding strength. I know that's a favorite of Joe's to be able to get some shielding going. And we'll do spare dagger so we won't have to move, but be able to attack. So throwing knives is going to do, she's going to kind of do the same thing. She's going to need to move up there though. So she can throw it from a distance. We'll get some toxic bolt going to get some poison. And I can give extra shield as well, which is nice, to the brute and the Mind Thief, who are kind of up in the front lines. All right. So the Mind Thief is going to kind of have to get in the room, unfortunately. But maybe not. Submissive Affliction I can do, and possibly an attack if I go later. We'll see. Okay. So cultist elites are moving to an attacking 2. Living corpses are doing the same, and the mind thief will get to go after them, which is nice. She'll get to use her attack or yeah, that's true. Shields give you XP, and of course the brute is not going to get the brute will get hit over the mind thief, so it's a kind of a nice combination. He should be super shielded up. Unfortunately, I do have to move the scoundrel up, and there's not a lot of room, and I don't think I can get up close enough to actually hit anything. Unless, nope, she has no way of getting up close enough. All right, well, that's okay. We'll get her in position for attacking next round. She's just out of range. Okay, so the Tinkerer is going to poison. Now, why? Oh, the Tinkerer's one space behind. Well, I guess I'll just have to settle for shielding everybody. It'll actually affect everyone, which is nice. That's worth doing. She's kind of more of my, or he is kind of more of my buff character. Just won't be able to get in range of any kind of attack. All right, so Brute. So he'll get a shield for the next sources of damage, and he should be the one taking any hits. I don't know if these guys are actually going to be able to get. Yeah, they'll get close enough. I think the cultist. No, the living corpse up front will be the only one that'll get close enough. He'll do an attack, but I have such huge shielding now. Why doesn't? Oh, I guess that the brute shielding comes up when he gets attacked. Nice, 3 damage. It's a nice starting shot. All right, so the cultist could only move a little bit. The corpse is going to get up close enough to attack. It's a +1, but if I use, but I'm only taking 1. But right now I'm taking 2 damage. If I got to use my warding strength, it's required. It's going to give me XP on the second and fourth hits, I think. And then I'm going to use my regular heater shield to like completely cancel the damage. So there you go, Joe. Complete hit reduction. And these guys are going to be able to move, but not too fast, pretty slow. Okay, Mind Thief is now in a great position. This is exactly where I wanted to be. I'm going to do the Submissive Affliction to make one of them attack the other, I think. Yeah, these guys do way more damage than the cultists. Huh. So we'll have this guy have his mind taken over, and then he'll attack this guy. Ooh, 3 damage. And then thank you for being a loyal servant. Now I'm going to attack you in the back. And he's dead. All right, so now the brute only has 2 cards to choose from before needing to rest. So I just kind of auto choose those. Like I said, I don't really like to rest too early. The scoundrel, because she has an odd number of cards, definitely has to rest, even though she has 1 card left. It'll be a short rest because she hasn't really used any cards or any of her items that need to refresh. Sorry, and she has no health loss. Quick hands. Okay, we'll let that burn. So she gets to choose her cards now. I think I'll continue to have her. I'll have her range attack for now. And we'll just do some kind of basic move kind of thing. The Tinker could also possibly attack 2, but she can only hit 1 person right now. That's the best I've got, though. And then there's not much to do. Mind Thief, last 2 cards. Okay, they're moving and attacking. The cult is moving and attacking and healing. Corpses are moving and attacking big. So we gotta, but they only move 1. So they're definitely not gonna get in range as long as I don't move up to them. I am gonna move the scoundrel a little closer so she can attack 2 targets with her throwing knives. Should be a pretty good hit. Let's see. Man, a lot of -1s for the modifier deck coming out. +1 for the corpse. Um, hmm. No ranged attacks unless I want to lose a card. Hmm. Well, I guess what I'll do, these guys are going to move 1. So they aren't going to get up close enough to me. So I'm just going to move up with a basic move, and then I'm just going to do a basic attack. Ooh, but if I kill him, he will be able to move up 1. No, that's okay. Somebody needs to get healed. The Tinker needs something to do. All right, the Tinker's going to go anyway. So if I move up 2, I'll at least be able to hit 1 guy with my range attack. Hopefully kill him. Yeah, ×2. Was that one of my blessings? It was. Well, the blessings don't get reshuffled into your deck. The regular ×2 does, but that's okay. We're pretty much halfway done with the room, with the dungeon. Okay. Let's see. So I'll have him. Well, I shouldn't have moved up there. Now he's going to get to hit me. Man, I wish you'd be able to undo stuff. Because he's not, there's no reason really for him to move up there. He can't do an attack anyway. The only thing he'd do is get that gold, but now he's going to be taking an attack and getting poisoned. Oh well. Only taking 2 damage and getting thrown up on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and have the Brute long rest. He'll get his 2 health points back. Let's see. Hey, this will be a big attack because I'll be able to get next to him and yeah, I think I'll do that for a big attack. And yeah, we'll just do a basic, some kind of move. All right, so those are the only cards left. We'll pick those. Mind Thief. We'll have him do a short rest. Perverse Edge. So I'm going to lose my stun on the bottom, but that's okay. I'm hoping maybe I'll get the Gnawing Horde out so everybody can see the summon. I'll probably pop the summon in the next room. Okay. So we want to go fast. I'm thinking that we can, and then do some kind of attack. So I could do Scurry and then do something on the bottom. Nothing too big to do, although I can help an ally move into the room. Okay. All right. I'm going to move 3. So I'll be getting that gold. And then I could move the enemy. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to move this guy. So I confirmed the target. And I'm confirming the movement. There you go. Okay, so we got it to work. I moved him up so that they'll have one hex with all the gold piles on it. Now I'll attack 3. Oh, you know what? I moved him, and now he's not adjacent to an enemy, so it's only going to be 3 damage instead of 5. What am I thinking? Man, I missed out on a couple of opportunities with her. I'm just not thinking clearly. I moved him up both to get the ability for other guys to come up in here, and I'm not even doing a good job attacking. Maximizing my attacks. Okay. So I'll skip the movement. He's going to die probably anyway. Nope. I drew a -2 for my modifier. So an ally within range 3 will pick him, confirm, and then now he can move 4. So let's him get caught up with us. He gets to have a nice turn. I don't think I need to heal anybody because the brute's going to get his hit point back. So I'm just going to do an attack. Yeah. And then we'll just move onto the space, which will get us 6 gold, I think. 4 gold, that's right. There's only 2 gold on level 1 for every enemy drop. Okay, so the brute now has to pick the card that he's going to lose. Just so many good cards now. We'll do the retaliate card, because I don't think he's going to take a lot of damage at this point. All right. So I'm going to have him move pretty fast to get in this next room. Whew, he doesn't have a lot of high movement cards anymore. Then we're going to try to disarm somebody. She'll try to venom shiv somebody. But she's got to attack. She can't move very fast. That's the problem. All right. Well, we'll go last. Maybe someone will be close. The Tinker is going to have to do a long rest to get cards back. I would do a short rest, but then I have to do the whole changing the. Let's see. Maybe I can do it. Nope. I can't select the yes on the short rest. It's cut off. So we'll do the long rest. Oh no, I may have to now that I actually clicked it. I wish there was a way you could just hit enter to select things, but nope. Or move the windows. Okay, so I can do a long rest, I think. We'll see. I think everything's going to get screwed up if I do that, but we'll see. We'll do gnawing horde and then maybe. Yeah. All right. All right. So I think I've got to switch the resolution here so I can get my short rest deselected. Okay. And then I have to go back, change it back to the regular resolution. You know, there's bugs. It's in development. It's okay. We'll get it figured out. The other thing is it doesn't quite always go back to the right resolution right away, so I have to select it a couple of times. There we go. Whew. Okay. So he's going to move 3. Whew, he can't move any farther. But he's going to stand in the doorway. Hey, when I long rested, why are my hit points not healed? Oh, because I was poisoned. So I need to get some healing going with the Tinkerer, because this guy is going to take some hits, probably. Oh no, the cultists are summoning living bones. Ugh. You always end up having a lot of extra stuff to deal with that way. Well, let's see if we can get rid of one of these guys. This should be a 7 attack with his augment. So hopefully... Alright, that's more than enough. Scoundrel is going to move as fast as she can. She won't be able to get next to anybody. But we'll have her move on the money. And then just do the basic attack. Well, it does do damage to the cultist, but I always hate having to deal with an extra enemy. These guys are so far away, they're probably not going to be relevant for a little bit. Okay, so the Tinkerer is finished long resting. We're going to get rid of the harmless contraption. There's not a lot of enemies here, so not a lot of dangerous enemies. Okay, so we got to get the brute moving. So we'll do overwhelming assault, and then we'll try to do a big attack with that. Man, I need to get some boots if I'm going to use overwhelming assault. We'll do another short rest with the thief. Throwing knives. Sure. I guess we'll do sinister and maybe singled out if we can get close enough to someone. All right, so we will have him heal. And then we got to get in the room moving. This guy also needs to get up there. We could do a submissive affliction. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, the corpses are moving and just taking a little bit of damage because they're moving so fast. Cultists, ooh, so they explode. Got to be careful. Okay, well, let's see if we can't get the skeleton to get the cultist to explode, which does a damage, and I think it's going to hit the skeleton as well. Oh, ×2 and blew him up. That was cool. Nice. So I mind controlled the skeleton to attack the cultist. The cultist exploded and doesn't attack as part of the card that it played, and ended a beautiful mind manipulation, if you will. All right, so I'm going to do the healing first because the brute is back here. Got him healed back up. Everybody's topped off. We'll have this guy move up here, so he's not all behind everybody. All right, so the brute is going to get to move 3. But he's blocked, so he's only going to get to move 2. But that's okay. He's not going to be able to do anything anyway. So the corpses are going to get to move 2 spaces and then take some damage. Just one, I guess. They fall apart when they move too fast. Okay, well, this is I love when they set themselves up and it's like I notice right away. This is oh, well, we haven't had the scoundrel even go yet. Okay, so she's going to get to move 3. And then this will be kind of cool. So at the end of her move, I get to pick an adjacent enemy, confirm him, move him over to be adjacent to one of my allies so that this attack gains 5. I'm finally doing this correctly. And if I get, yep, kill him. I do love that move manipulation of their move, or manipulating them after I move anyway. Whew, man, this guy hasn't even, oh, I'm picking my, all right, so he can move, he's just got to move 3 spaces. That's all he's got to do. And of course, I don't have a 3 moves unless I want to lose a card. Well, at this point, let's lose a card. I don't get to do skewer. That's okay, though. But we'll just use it anyway for an attack. We'll just try to do some more damage quickly. Yeah, we'll get a stun shot in there. Keep him from moving. All right. I'm just kind of picking cards quickly at this point just to get through the dungeon. It's taking me almost the whole stream time just to do one dungeon. I'm going to try to pick it up and go faster for sure. I won't have to worry, talk about X cards forever next time. Okay. So I think we'll do the pull. Just to get him closer and have one less gold pile to have to sweep up. And it'll be that much closer for everybody else too. So I'm going to Venom Shiv him, which will start him off with a poison, so he didn't take any damage. That was a miss I drew. I still got the XP, still got the poison, so that's the main thing. So the Mind Thief can only get up there if she uses a lost card, but there is only one room left, so I think it's worth it because we gotta get some XP built up too. So I'm going to skip the rest of the movement, but remember there's an attack on the bottom. We'll go ahead and do that attack. And then the attack on the top should just be 5. Boom, times 2, 10. Wow, big damage with that. That's why I love that augment. There's really no augment that's worth more than that, just in the sheer amount of damage you can do. Kind of trumps a lot of other things. All right, so we got, well, I thought we got all the gold covered, but for some reason the Tinker is not picking up the gold. Interesting. All right, can't quite move up fast enough or far enough. Didn't get to do the skewer like I thought. So everybody's down to a couple cards. I'm just going to pick those abilities. We'll try to open up that last room. We'll have the Mind Thief do a short rest. Yeah, we can get rid of possession. We're getting a little lower on cards. Definitely can do a range attack. And then we'll move into the doorway. Okay. So we'll start off with, flanking strike. Man. I guess we'll just move 5 to open the door. Now is when I want to be able to push and pull, because there's some traps in here, but I don't have any. Or I could disarm a trap, but that's not going to be worth it. All right, so we'll just move 1 back and then wait. The Mind Thief, however, she'll move up. Skip that. We'll go ahead and do this lost condition because this is the last room. Man, these guys take. There are 3 living corpses in here. That's crazy. 4 damage and a disarm. It's a lost card, but it's nice. It's a good one. All right, the Brute's going to move up 2, and then, damn, just out of reach with a spare dagger. Cultist Elise is going to move down, but then not get to attack. Oh, there's some healing. Didn't see that. That's okay. Just 1 hit point. All right, these guys are going to move 1. So I could move in the doorway. And then attack 2 enemies, I hope. Yeah. So skip movement, attack 2. I can hit both of these guys on the periphery. Now you might be thinking, why aren't you attacking the cultists? Because I don't want to have disadvantage. Remember, if they're adjacent and you're doing a range attack, it's at disadvantage. I should have drank. Ooh, ×2, so 4 damage. That's not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna drink this potion and I get to basically recover one of my discarded cards. We'll take the stun shot back so we can stay alive a little bit longer. It helps with longevity, and then it also keeps me from gets the opportunity to do some stunning next round in my turn. Living corpses are all going to move a little closer. Ooh, there's a treasure chest over there. Got to get that too. Always got to get the treasure chest. Okay, so the Brute, he's just going to short rest. Man, I really wanted to use that balance measure. But it might not be too bad to burn it, considering the fact that I've got some other cards that can be big attacks with XP. And he really just can't move a lot of spaces, although my lost ones can move him. Okay, so he's going to leaping cleave to get right in front of everything. And then we got to, it might be the opportunity to do the skewer. We'll see if I can beat him. We'll do a short rest for the scoundrel again. Yeah, smoke bomb will be good. We don't really need it. Want to do a big attack. So we'll do the sinister opportunity for movement. And then really just the big poison attack. Toxic bolt. Oh, we've got that stun shot, so we're going to stun somebody. And then on the bottom, we'll do his XP burning attack 5 at range 2. This guy's got to do a big attack too. All right, we'll do some scurry and some submissive affliction. Okay. So who are we going to stun? I think we'll stun What are these guys doing? They're moving 1 and attacking 4. So these 2 guys in the outer periphery aren't going to do anything. These guys, the cultists, are moving and healing. So this living corpse is the only one who could do any damage. But I'm also about to attack him with 5 damage. So I think I'll stun the cultist, keep him from healing. Doesn't do any damage because I drew the worst of 2 modifiers because I was at disadvantage. Now I'm going to do my big range attack for 2 XP and burn. +1, so he should be dead. All right. Scurry's going to let him move in 3, which will let him move up here to attack. Man, I'm not pushing anybody into traps. What's up with this? Now he gets to do his attack, which is actually a 3 damage attack as a base, which is nice. Only 2 with the -1 modifier. Oh, but I can't do Submissive Affliction because there's no enemies that can attack each other. I wish I could make him move. Oh, well. We'll skip the movement. And then I think because he's next to someone, I don't think I'm going to get rid of that guy. I'm just going to go invisible with my cloak. So now he will have to move a long way. Oh, come on. Well, hopefully I can still do Skewer. It's kind of a range attack, which is kind of cool. I'll finish that guy off. Ooh. So see, this is nice. This is another thing that Sinister Opportunity is great at. So I can come up here. This is what I was looking forward to. Move next to this guy. Pick him, confirm him, and then move him onto a trap like an asshole, and then do a 3 attack on him. I'm going to go ahead and boost that. Make sure we get this guy dead. Boom, 5 damage. So Sinister Opportunity seems like an oddball card that you wouldn't know what to do, but I've already found great uses with the Scoundrel because she can move them close to allies to do extra damage with her other cards. Great combo ability with that card, or I can move them onto traps, really. Okay, so this guy's... I just got to pull out my big attacks at this point. Try to get all the XP boosting stuff I can. Ooh, I can disarm a trap. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Well, those are the only 2 I have, so we'll stick with that. Somebody's got to get this treasure chest. That's one thing that's got to happen. Okay, attack 5, and then he's going to push. All my guys get to go first, which is nice. Okay, so where's the Mind Thief going to go? We'll have him move up here and stun. Yeah, there's not really anything that's going to get him more XP than this. And then we'll go ahead and stun him because that's part of that XP action. Then we'll just do a basic attack, which will kill him if I do it. It's not going to give him an XP boost, so I'm going to go ahead and skip it and let other people get their XP boost in. He got the treasure, which is 10 gold. Nice. So the brute is going to move and attack. It's a jump. So I'm going to confirm the attack. Oh, that killed him. So he did get the final XP boost. He can't really do anything else, so he'll skip. Okay, the Tinkerer is only going to be able to move up here. and get some gold. The scoundrel can disarm a trap at least and get some XP out of that. It's always a nice way to wrap up dungeons, have a little bit. I do wish there was a little bit you could do if there's no enemies left. That's a great card for getting some XP. All right. Killed 16 enemies, did 116 points of damage, took 10 damage, which wasn't too bad. Healing, did 5 healing. Gold piles looted 18 out of 19. Didn't get them all. Got 23 XP though, which is kind of nice. Night, Joe. I'm getting ready to head out too. I think starting a new kind of ending in the middle of a dungeon run is probably not a good idea. So one of the things that'll happen is when you have two scenarios or more, sometimes you'll actually have a choice, a branching path. So I could go to the armory, fight some bandits, or I could go fight in the decaying tombs some living spirits and bone rangers and corpses and undead stuff. I think I've seen a lot of the undead. I'm thinking I'm going to go for some bandits at this point. And of course, the only thing you can do in the middle of a path, you can't go back and buy new things or anything like that. The only thing you can really do is um, you can redo your cards. And so I'm going to keep my cards the way I have them, and I should be able to do this second scenario next week, and then we'll do some quick stop for a quick sale and purchase. Maybe have enough at this point to buy at least one enhancement for a card, and then keep going. We should also hopefully, man, see, this is what's crazy in this adventure mode, or and when you play the game, there are certain characters that, depending on how you set up their cards, just naturally pile on the XP. The Scoundrel's already up to 31, and the Mind Thief's 25. The Brute's 22. All of them are fairly even. But the Tinkerer, you'll have some builds where you just don't have a lot of XP happening on a regular basis. The problem with the Tinkerer, and I played this is probably the character I played more than any other character at this point because I played it with my main group. There's not a lot of cards that aren't losses that have XP. There's a lot of lost cards that you have to play in order to get XP, which kind of sucks. Even the ones I haven't included in my deck, there's not really a lot of opportunity. So I really have to get good at popping off XP at the end with him so that I can make sure and get caught back up. He's quite a bit behind. But still working on level 1, but it should go faster. I promise there won't be a lot of discussion about the X cards. I'll probably keep the same ones I use. Keep the same card setup I use. Just try to boost the Tinkerer's XP boost a little bit. And we'll get through that second scenario. Hopefully get with that bonus XP, I should be a good way into the second level for almost all the characters, or I should be into the second level anyway. You can see what it's like to level up, and we'll keep going on our progression toward boss 1. I'm hoping we'll get there maybe within the next week or two, be ready to fight the first boss. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys later on next week. Talk to you later. Bye.